Number one, I'm going to demonstrate before we do it together. I'm going to think about centering my weight on one foot. And what I want to think about doing is taking my pubic bones and lining them up on top of the ball of my foot. Okay? It is very common in my experience that people try and keep their weight falling back on the heel of their leg. So they tend to try and do their standing positions with the hips balanced on the back of the foot. You fall over very easily and you don't have any control through the flexion point of the foot. A huge part of your balance comes from the toes connecting to the floor and pushing against your weight. But that's only going to be possible if your weight is centered forward past the arch of the foot, okay? So you really want to feel that you make contact with the heel, keep the knee locked, and you're consciously rolling your weight forward until you feel your toes spread on the ground. That means that you know that you're able to connect. If you were going to like really test your standing technique, you would be able to push yourself up into a releve and down without your weight shifting. If to push with the toes of the feet, you have to lean forward before the foot does everything, it means that your weight is too far back before you begin. So you can just try this little releve test when we start to do the exercise together, okay? Yup. So place the heel in front of you, keep the leg locked, roll the weight forward into the toes, bring the weight into the ball of the foot, and then just try this little releve test. You don't have to balance. Yes, really nice, Taya, really good feedback. Yes, excelente. Nice. Make sure that you don't side bend, okay? It's very common that whichever leg is not connected to the floor, your body might lean towards the leg that's not connected to the floor. Be careful that you keep your spine as straight as possible on top of the working hip, okay? So what we're going to do from here, we've got the releve test. The releve test looks good. So this is where we center the weight on the foot. So a little connection. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to reach my stretching leg, touch the toes ahead of me, the same way that we did earlier. I'm going to pull that knee up as high as I can, and I'm going to flex the toes of that foot. I'm then going to interlace my fingers underneath the arch of the foot. Okay? Before I do anything else, I'm going to think about pulling my shoulder blades together and back. Okay? Then I'm going to think about pushing my working leg into my hands until the leg ends up locked parallel with the floor. Okay? And then from here I'm going to take 3 breaths, focusing on locking the knees, keeping the weight forward in the ball of the foot. Inhale. Standing leg should be locked, please, my friends. 2. Last one. Beautiful. Now I'm going to bend that leg, grab with the same set hand on the inside of my heel, and I'm going to think about standing up super straight with my spine, pulling that knee behind the line of my shoulder, okay? My standing leg is locked, my hips are still pointing in the same direction. Your free hand can hold on to something or it can reach up above the head, whichever you prefer. Now again, I'm not pulling with the arm, I'm pushing the leg against my foot, and I'm going to do that until the leg locks. So I push my heel against my hand, push, and the leg locks, and we have standing side split. We're going to stay here for 2 breaths. Push the hips forward, chest open. Last one. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take the foot down. Take the knees together, point the toes behind me. I'm going to think about opening the same set hand, so the palm faces away from me, and I'm going to grab my fingers over the inside line arch of my foot. Okay? What I'm going to do from here, my free hand is going to slide down my leg until I can connect with the floor. Okay? Once I've made contact with the floor, I'm going to think about pushing this foot against my hand. So I'm not pulling with my arm. I push my foot through my grip and stretch. Take 3 breaths. 2. Last one. Beautiful. Then you can release the foot down. Take the feet together, drop yourself down into a crouch, and we can just bounce down through the hips, give our body a little bit of a break. If you want to make it nasty, you could do it like this. I don't mind it, it's fine. Bounce for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you can just stand up and do a little dance. Do a little dance. And then go the other way. Okay, beautiful. You look fabulous. So now we're going to try and do that bullshit on the other side. So you're going to find that you've got like a happy leg and a not so happy leg. Especially if your training is not very oriented in like strength-based exercises. So you'll notice that I do like a lot of strength-based exercises in high range. And the reason this is important is that it's not just that you're going to have a flexible leg and a tight leg, which is common for everybody, but that is also generally reflected in a leg that is less stable and a little bit weaker through the joints, which is why the softness of the tissue increases the available range of motion, but also decreases power. And the opposite can be true with the standing leg. So if you feel a lot of instability as you're stretching using your flexible leg as the support, you have to really focus on engaging the musculature of your waist and your stomach to support the stability of your hips. Okay, so anytime you feel like a joint in your body is not stable, it's not helping you, you don't get stressed with the joint, you think about what's around it to help it work. Okay, so let's do this little releve test first. So I'm going to reach my opposite leg forward as my standing leg. I'm going to roll on a locked knee until I feel the weight center into the ball of my foot. Okay, and we're just going to do a little releve test to check the orientation. So releve up and down. No shifting weight to lift up and down. If you want to try and balance, you can stay for 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. Stretching side leg, toes touch forward. You're going to pull that knee up towards the same side chest. Flex the toes of that stretching leg. Make sure your standing leg stays locked and the weight stays forward in the ball of the foot, okay? Interlace the fingers underneath the arch of your foot. Before you make any additional changes, lift your chest and your head up. Pull the shoulder blades back. Push the heel against the interlocked fingers until the leg locks forward, parallel with the ground. Standing leg locked, chest lifted, weight in the balls of your feet. Take 3 breaths. 2. Last one. Beautiful. Bend the foot. Grab on the inside of the heel with the same side hand. I like to have my thumb pointing towards me. Standing leg locked, hips pushing forward, chest open. Free arm can hold on to something or reach up above the head. And again, not lifting with the arm, lifting by pushing the foot into the hands until the knee locks. Side standing split, standing leg locked. Take 3 breaths. 2. 1. Let the leg come down. Squeeze the knees together. Turn the palm to face away from the midline. Grab over the pointed arch from the inside. Free side arm slides down the front of your supporting leg until you make contact with the ground. Put a little bit of pressure in those fingertips. And then think about pushing the trapped foot against and through your hands until you feel the split switch on. Take 3 breaths here. 2. Last one. Beautiful. And then you can take your feet together, drop yourself down into a crouch and bounce down to your knees for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Super nice, super good.